Hi guys. Today I promised you something a little bit different. I've been inspired by some of the other floss tubers that I watch to do a stitch with me. So we'll get into that in a second. I don't really have any whip updates for you right now. I'll try to remember to tack one on to the end of this before I post it, but it's not going to go out for several days yet. I'm actually filming ahead of schedule for a change. But I did have a little haul update, and I'm really excited about. So I wanted to share this with you. I don't know. For those of you that are familiar with Mystic Fabrics, you'll know what was going on. But the fabric games this month were Pride themed. Are Pride themed. I think there's still going to be another one. But I participated in the first weekend. If you're not familiar with the fabric games, it's a fun time where Misty just takes a bunch of the fabrics that she has dyed and she throws them up on her Facebook page, first come, first serve. And you hope that you're quick enough on the keyboard to get the ones that you want. So anyway, this fabric games, as I said, was Pride themed. The fabrics were dyed in colors of various Pride flags and rainbow, and I think $2 from every purchase went to various charities. I should have contacted Misty to see what they were, because we were still voting on them, but the last I looked it was going to be focused on LGBTQ plus charities that focus on minorities. So, but either way, I mean, good deal of money was going to be donated from this. Misty did a phenomenal job with the fabrics that she came out with, and she also had needle minders made, which I ordered one of those too. This is a part of an ink circles pattern, actually, called Relentless, that the designer gave permission to be made into a needle minder. So I got that also. That also included a donation to various charities. And then here are my two fabrics that I got. It was a hard fought battle, but I won. I got this one with the black and green and gray, which I believe is Aromantic. And also can be agender. I think that color is in both flags. And then I got a rainbow. And there it is. And seriously, guys, aren't these gorgeous? Misty is so freaking talented. I have no idea how she does it, but as long as she does, I'll keep buying fabric. And I think we have something happy worked out. So that was my purchases for the week. I'm trying to cut back, so you shouldn't have very many stash purchases in the near future. I got one other thing, but the box is currently being used to prop the camera up, and that is I got a Yarn Swift and ball winder because, I mean, I'm knitting again now. Going to learn crochet soon. People are starting to get out a little bit more. I'm still keeping an eye on things. I'm not quite convinced I'm ready to be out. I'm just not happy with the numbers. So I'm trying to stay limited as much as I can. But eventually I am going to learn to crochet. I have a couple friends who will teach me that. So I'm going to be going through a lot of yarn. So Yarn Swift and winder. So yeah, that's my update. So let's get into the stitch with me. I'm going to be working today. It might even be a finish with me. I think this is longer than I planned to actually film. But I'll be working on Natsu, and as you can see, he is so close to being finished. Oh, so close. And yeah, there's a possibility that if I stitch fast enough, I could finish this during our stitch with me. But if not, one of the reasons I picked him, besides the fact that he's almost done anyway, is that the outline is completely done now, and so I can talk without having to worry about focusing on counting. And I've seen enough fairy tale I think I have 31 episodes left, I'm getting close to the end, that I could probably fill in these colors in my sleep, so I don't have to refer to the pattern, and I can just talk to you guys while we stitch. So I've got that. I've got my phone here with a random number generator and a list of 100 getting to know you questions, and I'll just use the random number generator to pick 4 or 5 of those, and I will tell you a little bit about myself. This will probably be something I do semi-regularly. If you ever have any questions that you want me to answer during a stitch with me, please feel free to pass them along. Somebody is lurking over here, and I have a hunch she'll probably pop up and say hi along the way as well. So we may have a Lexi cameo this evening. We'll see. So anyway, I invite you to go ahead and grab something to drink, grab your whip, get it started, and why don't you come stitch with me? So, one thing I should have done beforehand is I should have gone ahead and gotten the floss threaded that I was going to use, so you guys didn't have to wait for me to thread my needle, but I'm learning. And that's how you learn, is you start to do something and realize all of the mistakes you make. Make a list, and hopefully next time you remember not to make some of them. So next time I will definitely have needle and thread ready to go. Yes, I'm a thread licker. I don't care. If you ever get something from me, it'll have my DNA all over it. And a lot of times, literal blood, sweat, and tears. I wash stuff before I give it to people. And we'll get in that loop start. Okay, so we're ready to go, and we'll dig out the first number. Random number generator, number 38. Aside from necessities, what one thing could you not go a day without? That's a really good question. I kind of want to punt and go something to keep myself entertained, because that's really, there's no one thing that I do to keep myself entertained. Sometimes I stitch, a lot of times I stitch, but I can go a day without it, and I usually do take a day off so that it remains something that I enjoy. Get in the hole! There we go. So that it remains something that I enjoy rather than something that I have to do. I love to read. Actually, probably that. Something to read. I don't... some of the other things I do, I play computer games and stuff, but I generally do read for a little bit before bed every night. So probably, yeah, something to read. Something interesting to read. I like a lot of different genres. I like true crime. I like mystery, suspense. I like historical fiction. I like a lot of the classics. Lately my kick has been fantasy, and I've really been enjoying the Stormlight Archive series. I'm actually all caught up, and that's kind of sad because now I have to wait so long for the next book in the series to come out. I also read a lot of fan fiction, which may be weird, but I like it. I think it's kind of cool when you've got something you didn't particularly like that occurred on one of your favorite shows to go read a fan fiction where that occurrence didn't happen. But I really like just reading about characters in a different medium. When I was younger, I loved the X-Files, and I also had on audiobook a couple of X-Files books. And it's just fun to be able to imagine the characters in other situations besides what you see them in canon. So I read a lot of fan fiction. So yeah, something interesting to read. Topic may vary, would be my answer to what is one thing that I couldn't go without. All right. Next question. 41. How many pairs of shoes do you own? I have no idea. And also, you can divide my shoes by genre. So, I have shoes that are specifically for cosplays. I have dance shoes. I have shoes that I can wear to work. And I have, I don't wear them a lot, but I do have a lot of dress shoes. Seems like every time you have something dressy, you have to go get another pair of shoes because nothing matches. So, yeah, I have a lot of different shoes. Shoes that I wear on the regular, I probably have about 4 pairs that I wear regularly. My work shoes, which are an old pair of running shoes. My sandals, which are here because I just got done with work for the day, or I just got done hanging out for the day. So my Keens. I don't like having stuff on my feet, so I try to go barefoot or barefoot feeling as often as possible. So I wear my Keens a lot, even when other people would be wearing normal shoes and socks. I wear them a lot later into the fall, and I start wearing them a lot earlier in the spring than most people think is normal. But so I have those, and then I have 4 pairs of Teaks, but I have 2 that I wear regularly, my black ones and my red ones. I love Teaks. They're awesome. I can wear them I can wear them dressed down just to slide on and walk around. It feels like wearing my ballet shoes just around the house. But they're also dressy enough I can get away with wearing them when I have to dress up. So if I have to go to a wedding or if I have to go to court, just generally whenever. So too many pairs of shoes to count, but I usually just alternate between the 4 regular ones. Like I said, a lot of the other ones are made to go with specific dresses or costumes, or I have quite a few dance shoes because I do multiple types of dance. So yeah, there's that. Next question. 4. By the way, I reserve the right for anything that gives away too much personal information that I don't want out on a public website. I will not answer. What is your favorite family vacation? This one might take me a minute. I think a lot of my family vacations I didn't appreciate at the time. yeah, one of those, you never know what you've got till it's gone. I have lots of great memories growing up of spending. Our most common vacation spot was probably also one of my favorites, which was my grandparents' cottage. And we'd go up there and we'd get to spend a week. And we'd also take trips from there to other places that were nearby. It was in northern Michigan, and it was within a reasonable driving distance of several like more vacation-y spots. We went to Mackinac Island for a day from there once. We spent time in the UP. We went to Hartwick Pine State Park in Grayling. But yeah, just being at the lake for a week was a lot of fun. So that might be growing up, but I think my all-time favorite vacation, and it was a family vacation because my dad went with me, it was my trip to Alaska a few years ago, the parts of it that I remember. I got really sick the last couple days, and don't remember very much of it except for being miserable and really wanting to just stay in bed for a while. So yeah, that kind of sucked. The last 4 days, I think, I was pretty sick. But the first part of it was so much fun, and it was, I like cruises to begin with, just because I like the ships. I like unpacking once and seeing a bunch of different things. I've been to Alaska. I've been on a couple Caribbean cruises as well, and I'm hoping sometime in the future to be able to go on a Mediterranean cruise. But it was fun, and it was me and my dad getting away. It was the year after my mom died, and I think we both were not dealing with that as well as we could have been. And so it was nice for us to just get away and enjoy a week and enjoy hanging around each other. My dad still lives where I grew up, and I live about 6 hours away, and I try to get home once a month, but we don't see each other as often as I would like. So it was fun to have just a week, the two of us, and see some absolutely gorgeous landscape and learn some history of the United States in a place that doesn't really seem like the United States because it's so far away. It was just, yeah, it was really, really cool. And it was a really special time. And it was the first of our father-daughter vacations, and we've taken 3 now. So the year after that, we went to Gatlinburg and got a cabin outside Gatlinburg and spent some time in the Smokies. And then the year after that, we went to South Carolina to visit my brother and sister-in-law and my niece and nephew down there. And yeah, I don't know where we're going next. We had plans to go to Georgia this year and kind of take our time working our way down the eastern seaboard, but COVID apparently is going to mess with that, so I don't know where our next trip will be. I would like for us to go out west at some point. Not. Alright, all better. So yeah, there we go. Let's go on to next question. $28. In the evening, would you rather play a game, visit a relative, watch a movie, or read? It honestly depends on the day. I'm an introvert, But I think a lot of people misunderstand what an introvert is, and they think introvert means shy or misanthropic or absolutely has to be alone all the time. And I'm not that way. I like being around people. I like being around people that I know. And once I am, I don't shut up. Could you tell? So, yeah, to get to spend some time with a relative would be a lot of fun. But I am an introvert, which means that I do need time to recharge. And I am perfectly happy being by myself for the most part. I can be completely fine. I think probably read. Read or lately watch a movie, because I can watch a movie while I stitch. And I've got so many projects to work on that I need to stitch a lot. So maybe watch a movie. It would depend. Reading is something I always enjoy. Watching a movie or watching television, I have to have something that I really want to see or do. So yeah, probably read. I've always loved to read since I was little. It's only been recently that my brother stopped buying me Barnes & Noble gift cards for Christmas. And they replaced them with Amazon, and I think that they think that I'm using them on books, and a lot of times I do. But I also use it on a lot of other stuff too. Like a yarn, Swift, and Winder. I actually used my Christmas gift from my brother and sister-in-law was an Amazon card, and I used that to pay for part of my yarn, Swift, and Winder. So boy, I'm babbling. The answer is I'd rather read. $97, all the way near the end. Who is the most intelligent person you know? Wow. I am constantly surrounded by smart people. I work in a science job, and I am just amazed at and I've always worked in science. That's what my degree is in. The type of science has changed, but I've always worked in science. And I don't want to name names on a publicly posted worldwide website. But who is the smartest person I know? There's so many, I don't know if I can pick just one. We're going to go ahead and pass on that one. So, and we'll just say there's a lot. There's a lot of smart people that I know. 46. If you could go back in time to change one thing, what would it be? You know, for all the stupid stuff I've done in my lifetime, I don't know that I'd change anything. There are a lot of things I wish I wouldn't have done. But the problem with going back in time and changing things is you don't know what else you would change. And if I had an absolutely miserable life, then maybe that would be a thing I would want to do. But I think I've had it pretty good. I've got a job I enjoy. I've got friends and family that love me. I've got hobbies that I enjoy. If my knee would ever stop hurting so I could actually dance again, then life would be pretty darn good. So I don't know that I would change anything, because I might lose any one of those things. I think the only thing I would do differently is I would try very hard to spend more time with some of my loved ones. And I think that's probably a pretty common thing. It's like I said, the last time I said goodbye to my grandmother, I didn't know it was going to be the last time I said goodbye to my grandmother. So, yeah, I wish I would have spent more time up at my parents' house while my mom and grandmother were still alive. There are so many things now that I don't know that my mom and my grandmother knew that I don't have access to. I mean, they are gone, and that side of the family is largely, I'm not close with anyone on that side of the family anymore. First of all, there's not a lot of direct relatives left. And the more distant cousins and things, I don't know very well. So I've been trying to do some of my genealogy, and I am running into a lot of roadblocks because I don't know a lot of basic information that I need to know to search for people. Recipes that are gone forever. Things that I wanted to know about them that I never got around to asking. And, I mean, just who wouldn't want to? If I had some time to spend with either of them, I'd do it in a heartbeat. And I think that has been one of the hardest things about living far away is I didn't, and don't get me wrong, 6-hour drive is not far away. And I do go visit my dad. I've learned my lesson, and I go visit my dad with some regularity now. I try to go at least once a month. I haven't in the last few months because of COVID, but we're both being very careful, and I'm hoping to go up in a couple weekends. But yeah, I just wish that it hadn't taken my mom dying unexpectedly, and at the time she had lived with my parents, and she went and lived with my aunt, who I don't know very well. She moved away when I was quite young, and I didn't see her very often. But when my mom died, my grandma, who had been living with my mom, had to go stay with her. So I don't know. That's my biggest regret, is that I didn't, that's the one thing I would change, because I don't think it would change anything about my life other than to make me a lot happier. Would be to go back and spend some time and get some of those questions answered and those things unsaid. Things left unsaid, get them said. Well, that was kind of a downer. Let's see, maybe one more? One more? Yeah. Maybe two more. The problem is I can't see how much of a... 29 minutes. Yeah, one more is fine. I don't want this to be too long. So what did I just say? 42. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. Here we go. Are you ready? If you were a superhero, what powers would you have? Oh boy. I don't know. I think in practicality terms, I would love to have the ability to do things super quickly, like actually be done with this cross stitch that should have been done 6 months ago. And not so much for things like this that I enjoy, because I'm having a good time. But, you know, to be able to do house chores and stuff really quickly, like, so that I could go do things that I wanted to do, or I could go lounge around and not have to worry about things. Yeah, I think the ability to do things really quickly. I think I'd like to be the Flash. I don't really need super strength. I think we just talked about, like, I don't need the ability to manipulate time because I don't necessarily think that that would be a don't necessarily think that would be a good thing. I guess maybe to be invisible when I didn't want to have to deal with people, because I am an introvert. I like people most of the time, but not all the time. So it'd be nice to be able to just kind of vanish when I didn't want to have to deal with people. But I could also do that with super speed too. So see someone coming and just disappear. Yeah, I don't know. So out of the comic book powers that are pretty typical, I think those are probably the ones that I would be most interested in. So, I don't know. I don't feel like that was quite the answer to life, the universe, and everything. But it was the answer to question 42. I guess when the question is 42, then the answer is not the answer to life, the universe, and everything, because 42 is the answer, not the question. I'm babbling, aren't I? That's what I do. Well, anyway, we've been going for about 30 minutes, which is all the more I really wanted to keep you here. I guess I did not get a Lexi visit, which kind of surprises me. But maybe you'll see her next time. I think I will want to do this on a semi-regular basis if people enjoy it. If not, then I won't do it anymore. And so here's where I got on Natsu while we were talking. I just got some of the orange filled in. And yeah, I'll say goodbye to you for now, but I'm probably going to continue working on him for the rest of the night. And the next time that you see me after this video, or maybe I'll even tack it on to the end of this video if I get finished with him before this video posts. Then I will put the end on there, because look at me, he's so close! Almost there! So, I hope that you had fun stitching with me, and have a good night, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Well, as promised, here he is, all done. And it's not quite Friday here anymore. I was filming on a Friday, but it's still Friday somewhere, so consider this my finished Friday. Natsu is done. The Great Christmas Panic of 2019 is over, and I'm ready to move on to something new.